Hurts takes the football. He is going to throw. He does in the flat. The nice catch by Goedert, who breaks the tackle across the 5. Touchdown!
Goedert, beast. He beasted him. I slowed down so he could come and get some.
Hurts off the play fake. All day to throw. Looking deep for his tight end, Goedert. And the ball is caught. Goedert with a catch.
Goedert just went over the top, Randy Moss style.
Running along the sideline, and is he in for a touchdown? He is! Dallas Goedert!
Wide open, catch me, Goedert.
And it is caught by Goedert! Touchdown, Dallas Goedert!
Give me some Dallas Goedert blocking in this game.
And Goedert is down and injured. And now he's a little slow getting up.
So there's Goedert, questionable to return with a hamstring injury.
Could the Eagles trade him?
If you move on from Goedert, I want to know what your plan is at tight end.
What's going to happen with Dallas Goedert?
Dallas Goedert's too good of a player.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, and the trade talks around Dallas Goedert continue to burn. The night before the start of the legal tampering period, Josina Anderson reported that the Eagles are looking to trade the Super Bowl champ for a 4th-round pick, even if it's in 2026 or 2027. Then on the first Friday of the free agency period, Jordan Schultz reported that the Eagles have been open to trade talks involving Goedert as well. There's different implications for trading Goedert, very much dependent on the date that he is traded. So today, we're going to talk about 4 different scenarios. What happens if the Eagles let Dallas Goedert play out his contract as is? What happens if Goedert is traded before June 1st? What happens if he is traded after June 1st? And what an extension might look like. Goedert has 1 year remaining on his contract. While all of his previous signing and option bonuses still have to be paid out, he has no new guaranteed money left on his contract. However, he does have a signing bonus of nearly $14 million if he does play out his current contract. That must be exercised by the start of the regular season. He would have a cap hit of $11.8 million, which isn't so bad, but his dead cap next season would be $23.8 million. That's not ideal. The Eagles could theoretically let Goedert play out his contract, especially considering they're in a good spot to compete for another Super Bowl and they're not going to get his level of production run and pass game wise from a rookie, but there's no way Goedert wants to play out his contract. He's already 30, and every year he waits to sign a new contract, whether that's with the Eagles or as a free agent, will diminish the value of the future contract. He wants to cash in on his last big payday as soon as possible. Playing the last year of his contract is also risky, as an injury would further devalue his services. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Goedert tried to hold out if the Eagles were to let him play out the final year of his deal. It's similar to last offseason, with 30-year-old Hassan Reddick entering the last year of his contract with no new money guaranteed. So, with the dead cap consequences for the Eagles in 2026, and with Goedert's desire to get paid, neither party wants to play out the last year of the contract as is. So let's get to the trade discussions. If the Eagles do trade Dallas Goedert, the date that they trade him will have major cap space implications for Philadelphia. If the Eagles trade Goedert before June 1st, all of his dead cap money from previous signing and option bonuses would be due immediately. The Eagles would be on the hook for $21 million in dead cap this year. Now, this wouldn't reduce their cap space by $21 million, since his $11.8 million cap hit is already accounted for in the cap space formula. Instead, they would lose $9 million in cap space in 2025. The benefit to trading Goedert before June 1st is that they wouldn't take on the $23 million dead cap in 2026 from playing out his contract. They also wouldn't take on any dead cap money in 2026, which is what would happen if he was traded after June 1st. If Goedert is traded after June 1st, he would have a dead cap hit of $7 million this season, but because of his cap hit of $11 million, he would actually open up about $4 million in cap space this season. The downside is he would have a dead cap hit of about $13 million in 2026. At the time of writing this script, Over the Cap has the Eagles with $24.9 million in effective cap space for 2025. Effective cap space also factors in the cap hits from signing the projected rookie class. When also considering that at this point in time, it appears the Eagles are partying like it's 2023 and only signing minimum price players to fill out the rest of the roster, how important is the remaining 2025 cap space for the Eagles? Getting Goedert's contract cleared and completely off the books for 2026 might be beneficial to make space for big extensions that are upcoming. It would also allow them to be more aggressive in free agency efficiency next year too. But taking on that dead cap hit in 2025 would reduce their flexibility this season in case they do want to make a trade down the line to shore up any holes. The Eagles are going to need several young players to step up in bigger roles, and there's no guarantee that happens. Also consider this. Any remaining cap space from this season can be rolled into next season to help cover for the 2026 dead cap. The Eagles also have to factor in that Darius Slay and James Bradbury will have bigger dead cap hits in 2026 versus 2025 due to their post-June 1st releases as well. But the Eagles are looking to repeat, and they need to strike while the iron is hot, especially with all-world talents like Saquon Barkley and Lane Johnson not promised to be here forever. And as deep as this tight end class is, I highly doubt any rookie is going to come in and give us close to the level of play we can get from Goedert when factoring in the run and pass game. Don't forget that this team wants to be run dominant, and bad blocking tight ends will absolutely ruin plays. Nothing shows the importance of Dallas Goedert more than the Eagles' rushing stats with Goedert on and off the field. On designed runs, including the postseason, the Eagles averaged 5.3 yards per carry with Goedert on the field. That would rank second in the NFL. With Goedert off the field, they averaged 4.3 yards per carry. That would rank 12th in the NFL. In the pass game, while he has never garnered a ton of targets due to surrounding talent, he has always been one of the most efficient tight ends. In 2024, he was top 10 in yards per route run, yards per reception, and yards after the catch per reception. Replacing Goedert won't be easy. So if the Eagles ultimately decide to keep Dallas Goedert, what might an extension look like? When looking at top of the market contracts for tight ends, there are currently 4 contracts that were valued at 7% of the cap at signing. Interestingly enough, Goedert's current contract actually leads the league in percentage of cap at signing, although the average value is lower than contracts signed more recently. But using those top 4 contracts as a guideline, we can come up with a rough outline for a potential Goedert extension. Combined, those top contracts average 7.6% of the cap at signing. If we give Goedert a 2-year extension to his existing contract, that would give the Eagles control through the 2027 season, though only 2025 and 2026 would be guaranteed. A 2-year extension at 7.6% of the cap, with the cap currently at $279.2 million, would result in a contract extension of $42.4 million. That $21.2 million APY would be first in the NFL by a solid margin. But more importantly, what about the guaranteed money? The guaranteed money of the top 4 contracts averaged 60.76% of the total contract value, with 21.84% of that being the signing bonus. For this theoretical 2-year extension, that would give Goedert $25.8 million in total guarantees with a $9.3 million signing bonus. The Eagles could then guarantee his 2025 and 2026 base salary, his signing bonus, and a nearly $14 million 2026 option bonus. He would have a 2027 non-guaranteed option bonus as well. How would that affect his cap hits? Well, his 2025 cap hit would actually decrease from what it currently is by about $850,000. His 2026 cap hit would be about $11.75 million, which is very similar to what it currently is for this upcoming season. In 2027, the Eagles would then have the option to use a post-June 1st cut, which would free up about $4 million in cap space, almost identical to the position they're in right now. His dead cap in 2028 would be $14.7 million, which is roughly $1 million higher than what his final year 2026 dead cap would be if the Eagles traded Goedert post-June 1st of this year. But keep in mind, the cap will be higher in 2028 than 2026, so if we look at the dead cap as a percent of cap space, his dead cap percentage would actually be lower in 2028 with the contract extension. This all looks good on the surface, but there's a couple things to think about. First, does Goedert want only 2 more years of guaranteed money? It would work out great for the Eagles to have Goedert for 2 more years while they groom a replacement from this deep tight end class. But at his age, I would think an extra 3rd year of guaranteed money might be more important to him than resetting the tight end market. Contract length could be more important than the APY here. Keep in mind, under his current contract, Goedert is set to make about $15.5 million this year. While this theoretical 2-year extension would reset the tight end market in terms of APY, it would only add about $10 million in new money to his contract when considering only the guaranteed money. Second, how does this fit in with the Eagles' long-term plans? they've been shedding future money this offseason, likely in preparation for big contract extensions to come for Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith next year. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are going to earn huge contracts in 2027 as well. In addition to that, Jalix Hunt would also be due for an extension in 2027. There's other guys up for contracts earlier, like Cam Jurgens, Reed Blankenship, Jordan Davis, and Nakobe Dean. Moro Ajama might also get an extension, which would kick in next year. Jalen Hurts is going to get a new extension within this time frame as well. Giving Dallas Goedert a 2-year extension will keep him on the books through 2028, while they could potentially get him off the books by next year. We don't know the answers on who the Eagles will keep or what other moves Howie has up his sleeves, but keeping the young, core players together will be an emphasis, and extending Goedert would certainly have an impact on that goal. But after hearing all of this, let me know in the comments, should the Eagles trade Goedert now for cap relief in 2026, trade him after June 1st to split the cost over 2 seasons, or work out an extension as this team chases another Super Bowl trophy?